Once again, it is the Urban Trucker Podcast, and I'm your host, Ed Hennings. On this podcast, we try to show you the new face of trucking. Over the last decade, trucking has overgone a huge facelift. We're seeing single moms, we're seeing people from our own communities become very successful and make an honest living in this trucking space. So today, we are meeting with our guest by the name of Lynn Barksdale from United L's Trucking. How you doing today, brother?
I'm all right. How about yourself?
All right. Good to have you,
meet
man.
You.
We gonna jump in here, man, and do what we do on these podcasts, and we just get right to it, man. What do you do in the trucking space? What do you drive? Semis, cargo vans?
I drive semi trucks. I'm an owner operator for my own truck.
Okay, awesome. What are you hauling?
Containers from overseas, so it'd be just about anything you can name.
Okay,
like, literally.
So explain to us, like a lot of people I know probably watching this right now, if my mama's watching this, she don't have a clue what a container is.
Okay, the easiest way I can say it is when you're watching a movie and you see the green, orange, red, whatever color containers that be on the ship, and they say they sitting out in the ocean and we can't get them in.
No doubt.
Those are all containers. So those are all different than, let's say, a dry van. A dry van is something like you may see a Walmart truck go past, for whatever reason, you know what I'm saying, and it's like a grayish looking color, and it's shaking in the middle. Those are thin dry vans, you know what I'm saying? The container is super hard, it's steel all around.
Okay.
So that's basically
So what's in the container?
You never know.
You just never know.
What I mean? Depending on who you getting, what company you going through, you'll know if it's like steel or tires, or you know what I mean? Because sometimes I get to a place and they do a live unload, then you'll find out, oh, there was tires on there, or was it MP3s, or PlayStations or something. You never know.
No
you
doubt,
know what I'm saying?
No doubt. How long you been in the trucking business?
Let's say I got my CDL in 2020.
Okay.
And I've been going ever since. I got it in February of 2020.
Okay. Okay. So a couple years you've been in the game.
Yeah.
2.5 years.
Yes, sir.
What did you do before you got into trucking?
Well, I was formerly incarcerated. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I was actually like, I did 13 years straight. I came home and I wanted a job. That can actually do something for me, like me, actually the benefits.
Living wage.
Yes. So I was like, I went for a lot of different jobs. I quit probably 10 jobs. My first job in my life was Burger King in 2019.
2019.
Yes. And
you mind me asking, how old are you?
I'm 48.
48.
Yes, sir.
And that was your first job in 2019?
That was my first job, yeah.
Okay.
And I quit after 6 days.
Once again, the urban trucker. This is the new look. This is not 25 years ago. The trucking industry has brought in a lot of us that come from humble beginnings, that come from so many different walks of life and situations. This trucking game has really changed the game for us. And that's what this podcast is all about, man. Keep telling us more about it.
Okay, well, when I came home, I went looking for a job. So I was like, I found several different jobs and it just didn't suit me. It was like, this ain't for me. I kept winding up quitting. And I'm like, I'm not a quitter, so what am I gonna do? I thought about it, in 2010, I was like, they had a CDL class in the joint. And I was like, man, I'll do that, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't take it there. So I was like, let me do it while I'm at home. Then I'm like, I couldn't find nowhere that wasn't charging $4,000 or $5,000 for you to take the class. So I'm like, man, I'm not doing that. I don't got no $4,000 or $5,000. I just got out.
Right.
So I ended up going to the Urban League looking for a job. And I was in Ohio at the time. So I'm like, I'm searching for a job. They get me a job like that. I'm like, okay, I got a job making money. They telling me they're gonna give me another job to make more money. Then they told me about what was called Building Futures. Building Futures is a program they ran where you can be a carpenter, electrician. They gonna put you in there and you'll have an apprenticeship course. So I was like, oh man, that's slick. I might try that. And then they just said, oh, we got one called Driving Futures too. I was like, Driving Futures? Oh yeah, we pay for your CDL and pay you to go to school and pay me to go to school?
Right, no doubt.
Oh man, let's do that. You know what I mean? And I went, they paid us $200 a week to go. They even bought us boots. It was the wintertime. It was freezing, dead cold out there.
Yeah.
And they threw us in the truck the first day. A stick shift. I don't know nothing about it. What is this? Before you know it, I'm whipping that thing, and this what I'm finna be doing? You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
I got my first job with U.S. Express.
Okay.
U.S. Express. After I got my CDL, I got my first job with U.S. Express. It was, I'm gonna say it like this. It was terrible.
Yeah.
The pay.
Right.
They pay you, you know, and you like, man, they only paying me like this because I just got in.
Right.
I'm like, man, so I'm riding with the trainer. We going from Dallas to El Paso, and then the next day coming back, and I'm doing the driving. He just chilling. I'm like, oh my God. Well, first let me say this. I got in with three different trainers. Two trainers, you know, unfortunately were white guys. You know, I say unfortunately because they smoked me out. They was trying to get rid of me, I felt like. You know, they didn't want me in there. And I'm like, man, what am I going to do? Right. Well, the third white guy they put me in there with as a trainer was the coolest dude on earth. Yeah. But he ain't doing nothing. He just sitting back chilling. You gonna do all the driving for real. Right. So it's a learning experience when you don't know.
No doubt.
So I'm like, man, now imagine going around these curves at 70 miles and he got you going 65, 70 miles. And because he like, you got to know how to go around it at this speed because he giving you his way of thinking. Right. And I'm like, man, but it say the speed limit for trucks is this much. Right. And he like, just do it. Right. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm about to kill myself. You know what I'm saying? So it's a different look. No doubt. You know what I mean? No doubt. And then as I'm going, I asked him one day, like, man, will I be able to make like $1,000 a week? He said, oh, you'll never make that. And I had to take that back and think about it on my 2 days off. Right. And I'm like, I never make $1,000 a week. Right. I got on the bus and went home. Right. I quit. Yeah. I ain't know what to do. No doubt. One of my guys called me up. He said, man, I got a job with this company, Smart Logistics. They based out of St. Louis. Okay. I jump in. Right. They doing dry van, you know what I mean? So I'm going to places like DHL and things getting loaded up, taking it down there to Bloomington. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking I'm doing good. There's nothing, $2,500 a week. Right. Okay. I mean, no, every other week. Every other week. Yes. Okay. So I'm like, okay, I'm making $5,000. At least I said I wanted to make $1,000. That's right. Well, when you pay your bills and you catch up with things and life start catching up with you, you like, this ain't no money. Right, right. I started looking into being an owner-operator. My little brother sending me his check stubs. He an owner-operator. He got his own company. Right. Oh, man, I made 9,000. I made this many thousand. Right, I'm sitting there like, this can't be true. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't making nothing and he's saying this. So I say, you know what? All right, I'm going to do it. So I talked to my sister, you know, and I'm like, look, I need a loan. You know what I'm saying? She gave me a loan. And I'm like, I'll give it right back, you know, immediately because this truck making this much and woo, woo. No and doubt. She helped me out, gave me the loan. I went and bought my own truck. No. And you went out and bought a semi-truck. Yeah, I didn't know that it was this easy. Like, we got it. I think our community has it confused. The process is a little difficult, just a little. But the pay is super simple. I paid them like $8,000. $8,000 down, like $4,000 to the company that I got the truck through, and $4,000 to the finance company. No doubt. And they put me in the truck, a 2016 automatic. No doubt. I jump out. First week, I worked 3 days. Only reason I worked 3 days because the radiator gave out. Oh, I was sick. So you had just got the truck. Yes. Just got on the road for 3 days. 3 days. I mean, I know you was your emotions was high. You was ready to get out there, get on the grind, and 3 days later, it's down. And this is it was local. I'm in Chicago, so I'm not going nowhere. I'm close. I'm 150 miles in and out, nowhere far. Right. Oh man, it broke down in Joliet. I'm sick. Oh man, how I'm gonna do this? Right. I ain't got no money to pay for it. Right. Called my brother. Man, it broke down on me. He right behind me coming to the same place. Oh, don't worry about it. You got a warranty, don't you? I do got a warranty. I didn't even know. Do that cover this? Right. He like, yeah, you got the comfort package. Right. The comfort package is like their best package for 2 years. Okay. So you got almost everything covered. Right. Almost. Radiator covered. Right. Oh my God, they fix it. Right. But guess what? I've been out of commission for a few days. Right. But how much did I make those 3 days? I had no clue. $4,300. $4,300. This is almost better than what I made in the whole month. In 3 days. I was sick. Okay, so check this out. Yes, sir. You go 3 days
Okay, you distraught because the truck is down.
Yeah.
So now you get a $4,300 check settlement. Get your funds in.
Yes.
Because when you start talking about money like that, they don't call it money no more. They call it funds.
Settlement funds. Yes.
Yeah, get the funds hit your bank account.
Well, as I changed my name to Bands, right?
Right.
Because I thought I was on. I'm like, oh, 4,300, 3 days, I'm good. You know what I mean?
Look, Bands in the house. That's what the trucking game do for you, man.
It does. It changed my life. But I'm gonna be honest, like, it didn't happen just because of trucking. It happened because of the Urban League.
No doubt.
Those people really pushed us.
Yes.
They pushed a bunch of us, and they put us in a community. I go back for this for 1 second. They put us in a room with, I call it a community because it was people from different walks of earth.
No doubt.
And we was in there, and we sitting there, and they said we got to go through a class for 1 week where it's a doctor, a brother, a good brother. He actually like made us speak about ourselves and get to know each other.
No doubt.
So we had to speak out and learn each other, a little bit about each other in 1 week. It's difficult because, you know, we protective of ourselves. We ain't from trying to give you this. No.
No doubt.
But it worked out. You know what I'm saying? A bunch of us still talk to this day. We still communicate, and we're still in trucking.
Yeah.
A few of us have our own truck, and a few still work for companies. And those that work for companies, those with trucks, are trying to get them to come work for them.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? Like, come work with me, man. You don't have to work with them. You can come get more money over here.
That's right.
And then by me going to the rail yard, which is completely different than driving,
Okay.
I got to learn more and make more. So now it's not, I immediately was like, how am I going to do this? So I wanted to break the $10,000 check in 1 week. I wanted to do that, right?
$10,000 in 1 week.
Yeah, I wanted to do that. So that was my goal. Because my brother was like sending me all these different amounts that he made. And you know, yeah, a lot of people not going to like that you can make this money this fast. They're going to think it's some craziness, but it's not. It's really legitimate. You can really do this. Like,
it's real.
I took like, I worked every day though. You know what I'm saying? You only can work 11 hours a day. You get 70 hours a week. So I would minimize it to like try to do 9 to 10 hours so that I can get every day in. So by getting every day in, I was able to bust it. I went to 11,300.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And I was like, wait a minute. I'm going for 15 next year. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I was overworking the truck. You know, I had a used truck already. It had a lot of miles. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm making this money, but I'm using it to fix this truck.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Because even though you have a warranty, you have to have a maintenance account. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have at least 20 in your maintenance account, you may as well give up the game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you need that to even push you further.
Now, are you driving over the road or are you local?
Well, I did over the road when I worked for US Express.
Okay, what are you doing with your own?
Now I do local.
You do local?
Yeah, but I'm actually switching companies, so I'm leaving the rail yard. Well, I'm leaving the company that's with this particular rail yard.
But you were able to make $10,000 or more local.
Yes, easily. And don't forget, I'm an ex-felon. So I couldn't believe that. You know, looking at it, I'm like, wait a minute. If I could do this, and I was just gone 13 years, imagine how many people could do it who've been here all this time. And then it's the trucking industry. There are several different ways you can make money in trucking. So you can go never have a CDL. You can go purchase a truck by putting down on it and let the truck pay for itself. Sign it on to a company. Let's say I sign my truck on to your company, right? You charge me 30% of what I make off the truck. So you always make 30% every week.
Every week,
right?
And you ain't drove.
I ain't drove nothing. I'm paying the worker, whoever the driver is. Excuse me, not say worker. I'm paying the driver. So I pay the driver out my cut, the 70% I get, and I pay 1.8% to the factoring company. That's who makes sure you get paid in between your company and mine.
No doubt.
So I get this every week. So I'm not missing no money. If I make $2,000, $3,000, and I'm at home,
that's right.
I won. You know what I'm saying? So I do that same thing, and I teach, but I don't tell people to just come work for me. I tell them I'm gonna teach you everything I know, so that you can get your own truck as fast as possible.
No doubt.
So my flip rate be faster. Like, oh, you come work for me, you're gonna be in the truck in 6 months. You're gonna be in the truck in 6 months. I'm gonna get the next man each time.
No doubt.
Get in the truck in 6 months. I teach you the game so that it's a, what is it, an $8 billion industry?
800.
800 billion. See, look, I was real low with that, right? We almost at $1 trillion.
No
so
doubt.
How come we can't all get a small piece of that?
That's right.
That small piece could be you being a millionaire in that much time.
In that much time.
You know what I'm saying?
That much time.
The rail yard, like, you know, is probably the best I could ever say for anybody. Yeah, people want to do flatbed and do all the other. That's all good. I'm not knocking none of it. Trucking, period, is great.
No doubt.
You know, it could change your whole life, and it's changed mine.
And mine as well.
And I'm not saying like, oh, I got a gang of money. No. Right. Because like I said, if you don't have maintenance money, oh my God, you know, and the reason I left the company was, you know, and I advise people to be careful because you can get in a situation where they're not paying you and it can cost you. I went through this experience.
No doubt.
To find out around Thanksgiving was the worst. I'm waiting on this $8,000-9,000 check. I'm like, oh man, I did good.
Right.
Pay your taxes too, though. Remember, you paying your own taxes. Right. So don't think just because you're making good money that you just got good money. You have to pay a nice percentage of that. So I advise people to pay quarterly so that you can see some money. You know what I mean? And you don't have to pay this big tab at the end of the year.
Right.
This particular company I was with, I'm not even saying their name because I just can't stand them that much. You know what I mean? Around Thanksgiving, well, they have a thing I found out through my brother that they don't on any holiday. They only give you a particular part of your paycheck. They don't give you your whole paycheck, and then they tell you get the rest next week. So in this particular time, it's Thanksgiving. My daughter's birthday coming up in a couple days from there. I'm like, huh? Oh, this ain't gonna work. I'm finna miss my daughter's birthday. I ain't gonna be able to give her nothing. I've been going all this time. I'm flipping out.
Right.
I look at the checks, and my brother say, remember to go back and check your check all the time to make sure they gave you all your pay from each load you did.
Yeah.
Now, I hadn't been doing that the past couple months.
Right.
I went on ahead and did it. I was missing 15 loads.
Wow.
Can you imagine 15 loads at paying anywhere from $400 to $1,000 per load?
Wow.
I brung it up. Biggest mistake I could have did, I should have went to a business person, who a lawyer or something that knew better before I did it. I brung it to them.
Right.
Well, they run the system, so even I haven't printed it out yet.
Right.
So they went in there and did what they do,
That's
and
right.
they made it whereas, oh, well, you was missing all these loads, or your dispatcher paid you for loads that you weren't supposed to get paid for.
Right.
So they managed to flip the script on me and changed it where I owe them.
Yeah.
And while I'm fighting them,
for
several weeks, like 6 weeks straight, I was paying them back. I wasn't even making no money. So I was like, wait a minute. And then I wasn't working hard because they saying I owe them.
Right.
So I'll be honest, I go 2 days and y'all can have that.
Yeah.
I can't understand how y'all not paying me for my 15 loads. So I was mad, I was angry.
Yeah.
Turn around, I'm like, man, you know what? After a while, I took off for about a month or two. Oh man, everything was bad. I said, man, let me go back. And I'm just gonna use them to get where I'm trying to go.
That's right.
Because you have to be in the business at least with one company for 1 year before you even have any real credibility.
No doubt.
So I said, let me go with this company and just work it out. Just work it out. I immediately started back making money again. And I was like, man, you know what? I'm not even gonna look at what I'm missing. Because if I do, then it's starting another battle.
Right.
I know some people may think that's wrong, but I didn't want to get done in.
That's right. You made some sacrifices.
Yes. So once I did that, I told my brother, I'm gonna come to your company. You know what I mean? And he like, cool, come to me, because he do the rail yards too.
Okay.
Oh my God, it's beautiful.
Right.
When I say the rail yards, what I need.
But hold on,
Yeah,
you are making plans now. Going forward.
Yes.
Now you're finna make a move from the rail
Right.
yard.
No. I'm going from this company and their dealings with the rail yards to deal with my own brother and his dealings with the rail yards.
Okay, so that's your next move.
Yes.
And your company is to align with your brother.
And he has a company called Map One.
Okay.
So he Map One, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And literally like, I mean, I know it's good because I know the rail yards, you know what I mean? So, and the funny part is
So what are you hauling
again,
at the rail yard?
You never know.
Is it containers or
It's
is it
containers,
you just
all
show up at
containers.
So it's containers at the rail yard as well.
Right. So what you do? All the rail yards got containers.
Okay.
Now they have a small amount of dry van, but that's really like some connected to the rail yard. It's not the rail yard.
Okay.
The rail yard is always containers, right?
Okay.
And you have to get this thing called a chassis. That's the bottom of it with the 8 wheels in the back. You get the chassis, and that's the hardest part of the rail yard business.
Okay.
Every day you got to get up extra early and go search for a chassis.
Every day.
Yes,
because you don't have your own chassis.
No, well, if you get a private chassis, you have to only take certain loads that you don't have to leave nowhere, because then you got to leave the whole chassis.
Yeah.
So that's the hard part. You know what I mean? So you get a chassis and from any rail yard, and then they load the chassis. They put the container on there, drive off. You gone. You knock that out. You go. Most times you're just dropping it off.
Okay.
You get lucky when you get to another place and they got it already on the chassis.
Okay.
Then you take that and go drop it off.
No doubt.
Then you like, man, I hit a lick.
So, okay, when you say hit a lick, how much are you getting paid for each container that you drop off? So you saying you get there in the morning, you got your chassis, found one, you got the container on it, you're gonna go drop it off. And you're doing this locally.
Locally.
So how many hours normally from your pickup to your first stop is it?
Okay, when you go to the rail yard, this is a bad part too, because sometimes they get you in and out in less than 10 minutes.
Okay.
But sometimes you're in there 4 and 5 hours.
Wow.
Now that can hurt your money.
Yeah, for sure.
But the best thing I can suggest to you is have a rail yard. I'm not a rail yard. Have a yard where you keep your truck, where you rent multiple spaces.
Okay.
So multiple spaces, maybe $250, $150 per space. So you get you about 5 spaces.
Okay.
And you try to keep those 5 spaces where you're taking it from the rail yard to your yard. And you drop it off because you got a particular time. Like say I mess with a company that's 24 hours. So when I'm going the 24-hour spot, I could take all mine to my own yard.
Right, just picking them up and dropping them off till you get ready to take them where they want to go.
So that way I'm waiting in the rail yard, hopefully the minimum amount of time. So if I only got 3 or 4 loads from the company, I take those 3 or 4 loads to my yard. And then I start taking them straight to the place where they got to go.
Okay, so once again, how much each one of these containers
I got around there, right?
How much for one of these containers?
Okay. Let me get to you like this. The smallest amount would be probably $430 per container.
That's minimum.
Right. And only way you get less than that is, let's say, it's already in the company's rail yard. I mean, they freight yard, not a rail yard, and they already got it where they keep your trucks at. Okay. So if they got it there, you probably only make $150 taking it to the place it's going, if it's not too far.
Okay.
But I try to stay away from that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah,
I'm going for the 400 plus.
That's right.
So if you can get $430, and the next time you're getting $570.
Okay.
So
on average, how many of these containers are you doing per day?
3.
So $430. That's at least $1,200.
Yeah.
$1,290.
Yeah, something like
every
that.
Day,
give or take. Yeah.
So is this 7 days a week?
Well, I work 7 days a week.
You work 7.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't even have to look. I got some fingers over here.
I do 7 days a week, and then you have to do your mandatory 34 hours. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So when I do my 34-hour reset, I come right back and get on it. So I do the 7 because you only do 70 hours a week. So
you got to do a minimum of 34.
You have to do for your reset.
Okay.
You have to do that.
Okay, for my reset. Explain
that's
to me
per
what
week.
That is.
Per week you have to rest your truck and your body.
Right.
Just like you have a 10-hour reset every time you get off work.
Right.
So you have a 34-hour reset where you got to, before you can get back in your truck again. After 7 days.
So it's even like that for local routes.
Yes.
Wow.
And then the crazy part is though, even though we have to have the ELD on, you know what I'm saying? Technically, because you local, you got 150 air miles. So you don't even need it. Right. You don't, unless the company makes you use it.
Just like it's local.
You don't have to use it. Yeah. But I mean, if you stick to it, it's an easier thing for you like me, knowing I don't want to be out there 11, 12, 13 hours, even though you're only supposed to do 11 hours technically driving. Right. I minimize mine to 9 to 10 hours. Okay. That way I get the whole thing and I'm able to do it. If it had to go past that, and I have to use my personal conveyance, you know what I'm saying? That's like a 2-hour window. But you don't want to do that when you're going from a customer to a customer. When I'm leaving the last customer and I'm going home, that's different. You know what I mean? Then I cut it on. And probably shouldn't then. I probably shouldn't cut it on until I actually get to the rest spot. And
how much is maintenance cutting into everything? Because I own box trucks.
Okay.
And I know how
maintenance
crucial.
Killing you. Listen, I'm going to say in 108 days, I use this for an example because it was my first time seeing this on my taxes, right? Because I never really had taxes because I never had a job. So I had like petty taxes from working here and there.
Right.
So when I seen this one, it was like I worked 108 days and I made 72.5, let's just say 72,500. And they didn't count the last part, so it was over 75, but that's what's on the taxes, 72,000 or something in 108 days. And I'm sitting there saying, I can do 108 days 2 more times. So you saying I'm finna make 200,000 plus?
Right.
I hit a lick.
Right.
That's what I'm thinking, right?
Right.
Well, maintenance tells you that you did not hit a lick.
That's right.
Because one, tires are a very expensive thing. You always running through tires, and you don't want to get the cheap tires. They tell you to get the 360.
Right.
Get the ones cost 6 something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So they last. You know what I'm saying? So you're doing the tires. You're doing everything with maintenance is what money you save. Like
Right.
in my maintenance account and my escrow account. So the escrow account, they put up $50 so you can cover their stuff, right? But in my maintenance account, I take out $1,000 a week. So until it's at 20,000. Once it's at 20,000, then I stop. Then how I did was I took the money from that and went and paid off my truck, and then started my maintenance account over again.
No doubt.
So every time the truck went down, I had the money to pay for it.
That's right.
Let's get it done.
That's right. That's right.
If at any time, get a relationship with a mechanic, with the real mechanics,
Yes.
not the side guy. Get a real relationship so that, let's say it went down and it cost $15,000 to get fixed. Well, I don't have the $15,000. What can we do?
Right.
They'll fix it for something down, right? If it's $2,000,
Right.
we're gonna start.
Right.
We're gonna fix it, and then you go out there and make some money and get us paid.
That's right.
And it will take $2,000 a week until it's done.
That's right.
So it's a one hand wash the other type thing. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And it's a beautiful thing. Like
Yeah.
I believe that everybody can make it in trucking, but it's the way you go.
That's right.
You know, you can do like
That's
I said,
right.
you can buy the truck and let somebody else work for you. You can go get your CDL and work on the truck, buy a truck on your own. Like I said, you don't need much down to start it with a used truck.
Right.
Then you can say you want to be a broker. I don't like the brokerage part because you have to call so many people and try to get it. But I like the dispatching part. That goes a whole nother field for you.
No
So
doubt.
it's just so many ways. And then
is.
on dispatching, you make 10% of whatever the truck make. So if you got 10 people with 10 trucks, I should say, signed on to you for you as they dispatcher,
No doubt.
and you can get them $5,000 a piece, you make $5,000.
That's right.
So you can stay at home and do this, or you can be at a hotel in New Mexico somewhere
That's
doing
right.
it.
No doubt
So
about it.
it's the trucking industry is like don't say no, or how could you say no
Right.
business?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
Everybody can make it, and it ain't cutting no corners with you.
I agree 100%, man. I definitely know, and I say this a lot. I came into business as an entrepreneur with a dream of owning my own barbershop and beauty salon, which I accomplished. But while I was cutting the client's hair, he told me about the trucking business.
Right.
I've been in the trucking business ever since.
Yes, sir.
The trucking business changed the whole game for me.
Yes.
I bought a home from the trucking business. Cars, travel. I do motivational speaking while I travel the country, and a lot of times I don't get paid. I use my own
sure.
money to go speak to some kids or mentor some kids. So it's definitely been a game changer for me. And it's a lot of naysayers out there that don't believe in the trucking business, but it's too many examples like yourself.
Yeah.
It's too many examples like me. The ladies that's jumping into trucks, driving, dispatching, brokering, getting real grimy with it, right?
Yeah.
So man, I'm seeing it every day, all day, how this industry is really helping some of us from humble beginnings, some of us from urban communities, from ghettos on down to suburban communities, man. And it's always a pleasure to hear everybody's story, because I get to tell my story in so many different ways.
Yes.
But I know from my story, when I'm driving in a truck, that now when I drive past another truck, excuse me, I know it's a story in that truck.
For sure.
And that's what this podcast is about. It's about getting those stories out there out of each and every truck, because now you seeing Hispanic,
Yes.
African American, women, all in that truck. And you know that woman right there got some kids at home, and she had to go out and get them CDLs,
Yeah.
and she had to
And
change
she
the
out there
game
getting
for
it.
herself. Now she out here,
Yes.
making moves, and she got her crew.
Yes.
And man, it's a beautiful thing to see, man, and it's good to see you doing the same thing, blazing that trail as well, man.
And people like you are appreciated who actually put it out here on the platform and let us know that we got a voice.
No doubt.
Because everybody is internet based. Everybody want to be on showing that, oh, I'm the man, I'm
That's
doing
right.
this, I'm doing that.
That's right.
But to have somebody let you come and sit down, you know what I'm saying, and talk to them and get a story, and I only gave part of my story, and I definitely don't want anybody to think, oh, he rich. You're not
Right.
rich yet, you know what I'm
That's
saying?
right.
But you
That's right.
pushing towards it, you know
That's
what I'm
right.
saying? And soon you will be. So your
right.
mouth is a powerful thing. Make sure you speak it into existence.
No doubt.
I'm rich
No
in
doubt.
thought, so I
That's
know I'm
right.
gonna be rich in life. You
That's
know what I
right.
mean?
That's
So
right.
when people sit out here and do it, I try to tell a lot of people all the steps of how to do it, how to buy a truck, but a lot of people get scared because they don't want to risk their money. You know what I'm saying? But you got to have it in your heart to know that you don't want to be hungry again. You know what I'm saying? That's my whole motivation. I never want to be hungry again.
No doubt.
So I work until I just can't. Hey, it is what it is.
That's right.
I'm gonna go out here and get this money, however it take. And then when you find a way to get out the way and let somebody else do it,
that's right.
And you just watching it and maintaining it.
For sure.
Now you're like, oh, this is the game.
That's right.
This is better than anything I could ever think of.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, literally, I have no desire for the street life or that mentality no more.
No doubt.
I'm literally like, look, I can't give you everything. I can't save you, but I can help you get you a truck. I can help you by teaching you what I know.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? If you want to get on my truck and drive, we'll go get to a big parking lot and I'll show you how to bag up and drive and do whatever you got to do.
No doubt.
And maybe you can find something like I did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I really believe with all my heart. Like, I see a lot of ladies out there who doing it, and I'll be shocked. Like, little bitty short ladies and people with little bitty skinny guys. I'll be like, man, how you doing this? But you know what I'm saying? When you start driving, you notice that, oh, wait a minute, they just letting this down, letting this up, and driving off, and they running the truck, and you make sure the back don't swing back and forth. You good.
Right.
It's like the simplest way in the world that other people been making money and making a living for their family.
That's right.
And we've been sitting back doing all this dumb stuff.
That's right.
When we could have been doing this.
That's right.
It hurt my heart. So I truly believe that everybody got a chance in this game and they need to jump in.
That's right.
It's the minorities. We killing it right now. Every time it's funny that when I first, and I only been in a couple years, I wasn't seeing a lot of black people.
That's
Here
right.
and there I was.
Yeah.
Latinos, no.
Yeah.
Now, every time I get in, I blow the horn or say what's up on GP.
That's right.
But I say it to everybody because I don't like the way certain people look at us when we in the truck. So I try to make it where I'm spreading the love to anybody. Like, man, look, man, we in this together.
That's right.
If somebody doing you wrong and I'm right there, I'm gonna try to help you.
That's right.
So I hope you do the same for me. If my truck break down, I hope you can help.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or vice versa. I don't really know mechanics, but I can just get out there and try to help you. What you need me to do? Hold a flashlight?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a game, man. But I suggest everybody find the rail yard.
That's right.
It's the best. It's the best, especially local. It's the best. It's the best.
Now, y'all hear that? The rail yard in your city, in your area, you know, you got a semi truck, you willing to pull the containers, find that rail yard, man, tap in. My man said that's where the bag at. You know, y'all need to listen, take these notes, get after it, man. It's available to all of us. It's not monopolized. It's available to you. Yes. You know, reach out, go for it, man. You know, you've seen a lot of dreams come true right here on the Urban Trucker Podcast, man. And
man.
I'm glad to have you, man.
Hey, thank
glad you
thank
came and blessed us with that knowledge,
appreciate
man.
that.
It's very much appreciated.
Shout out to my
real.
man, Lil Warrior. I had to say that, you know.
That's right.
And anybody else that's really doing what they doing and want to do it, this is the thing. Get out there. Take the first step. It's not hard. And, and to buy a truck, you need a letter of recommendation or a hiring letter, basically. Somebody saying they're gonna hire you. That's all that's the main thing you need over everything. You know what I mean?
Man. Once again, we're gonna keep trying to bring this heat like that. This the Urban Trucker Podcast. I'm your host, Ed Hennings. Follow me at Ed Hennings1 for more motivation, more trucking game. It's all free. Let's go.
Yeah, I had to hit that. No question. That was good. I appreciate that.
No doubt.